Alright guys, be on here, back more. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, we're about to wrap up the main game. Hey, can you like not do that? Okay, we did it. Alright, start your secret tape. Yeah, I'm surprised by just how much Ian is the exact same fucking player. I think really just in general with this entire cast, I'm just very surprised at how like everyone is exactly the fucking same.
I want to see the Pope! His Holiness waits for you at the top of the Castelli in his apartments. Get out of my way!
I feel like it's happening again.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, did you give her a rating?
I did, yes. I dropped him down to a 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel the exact same way that you guys feel, although, last week I gave him a 5, and I don't feel that as good about him anymore.
Oh,
Not that I feel great about him with a 5, but I'm gonna give him a 4. Because I agree with what you guys are saying. I think that he thinks that more crime or whatever is too real, and he
Yeah, I think I gave Ian a 4, right? 4 or 5, I
he's in a
don't
good
remember.
position when he's not.
I think a 4.
He knows the house, and he doesn't, and it's just, I feel like it's one thing to not know those elements, but think like, yeah, I need to figure this out, versus like you don't know those elements and you're like, I do know those elements. I don't know, I just feel like there's a difference between the false confidence and just being like, I'm in the dark and I need to like look around. So I give it a 4.
Yeah, by the way, also, the chat is reminding me that the chart says that I gave Ian a 5 last week, but I'm still going to give him a 5 this week. I thought, like, again, I write down my ratings ahead of time.
Do sometimes you change it last minute? Is that maybe what's happening?
If something comes up, I do, but usually I make a note of it, and, like, this is twice now that that's happened, so, like, I have...
I don't understand. I ordered a fresh batch of La Cantarella last night.
I am terribly sorry, mia signora. But the Pope has taken it all.
Where is the Pope?
He meets with Cesare.
Strange.
All right, well, I
He
can
did
tell
not
you
tell
that
me
the
Cesare
audience,
had returned.
was very close on this one, but they gave him a 6 overall. They
That
were
woman
very
gives
close
me
to
too
so
high.
much trouble.
a 5.
Why didn't
They
I
are
stay in the
sticking
stables?
with their 6.
What a
They
family this Pope has.
refuse to believe that Ian is anything less than a 6. All right, let's talk about Enzo.
I thought we're giving
feel
Enzo
great
a
about
9. Give him an 8
The
though.
audience also feels great about Enzo. The audience gave him an 8 out of 10 this week, up from a 7 last week. Melissa, do you agree?
Yeah, I feel really good about Enzo. I feel like he's in a really good position, and everyone really likes him. Like, even if he's not in an alliance with certain people, they all talk about him, saying, you know, I really like Enzo. Oh, Enzo's a fun guy. I want to keep him around. Like, I don't see anybody targeting him. And he's winning competitions, and yet people don't really see him as a threat in that way. So, I think he's doing really well, and I gave him a 7 last week, and this week I'm going to give him an 8.
All right.
Very cool. By the way, I have got a confirmation from the chat. Thank you, Ariel, that says, Ren, you dropped Ian to a 5 last week instead of giving him a 6 because Terrence said on the podcast that Ian said he was okay being the Britney Nicole's aide, and I do remember that moment when I was like, oh, I didn't know that happened, so that's why I dropped down the peg. So yeah, I did give him a 5 last week, I'm giving Ian a 5 this week, like I said. As far as Enzo goes, this is much of the same. Enzo, like, first of all, he won his second competition, really cool. I never thought I'd see the day, because like the thing about Enzo back in his original season was that he couldn't win shit, so finally, like, one time we did one, really won that hotel. He's
surprised by that, to be honest.
It's an 8 for me, and I'm really psyched to see Enzo play.
It's an 8 from me as well. I still feel great about Enzo. Honestly, no real changes here for Enzo. He's still in a great spot. Nothing has really changed for him, and that's why he was an 8 from me last week, because I felt like he's in a very stable position.
What has happened here?
Even if
I
like
do not know
Tyler
what
and
you
Danny
mean.
start fighting,
My funds,
even if
my
the
troops,
alliance
gone.
blows up, like Enzo is just
Financial
always gonna be able
difficulties
to
strike
stay-
all of us,
steer clear of any
even
real
those with
damage
an
from that.
army.
Even if like
intend to give
Kaser
me
wins
money?
HOH and decides
No,
to make a big
I
move
do
and go
not.
after like, you know, like the middle
Then
of
I
the
will
alliance, like
use
Cody
the
and
piece
Danny
of
or
Eden to
Tyler
get what I
and Cody
want.
or, like,
Your
Enzo
help is not
never coming up.
necessary.
And more than anyone, I think he can
That has
shift
been
and
made
adapt to
abundantly
whatever
clear
new
to me.
alliance forms, and everybody will always still want to pull him in as a number.
Are you aware that the
And
Baron
he
de
just won his
Valois
second
is dead?
competition, proving again that he can win
Did you?
comps and
What
get
reason
some
could I
respect
possibly
on
have
his
to
name
prove?
in the end game. So
Was he
I
plotting
still like it,
against me?
and it's
with
still
Yes,
an
I remember
intricate
that
risk of
preseason
danger?
podcast that
I
y'all
do
did.
not
It wasn't
have
me,
to
but
stand for
but,
this.
there was a preseason podcast. Maybe
The
you were on
assassins,
there.
Murray.
I think you did all
Why
of
did
it,
you not stop
with,
them?
with Enzo, and
As
they-
if I could. It was not my decision to attack Monteriggione. It was
It's
yours.
yours.
doing well, doing well. All right, let's talk
You
about
took responsibilities for
Danny.
your actions.
Let's talk
My
about
accomplishments.
Danny. Melissa, how do you feel about
Despite
Danny's
the
position?
constant interference of failures like you!
The same as her position as I did last week.
You are
just
not going
because
anywhere.
While she is in a
I
good
have
place
the piece of
now, I
Eden.
feel like there is a lot more discussion about her name
out of
and
my
people
way,
kind
old
of
man.
wary of her.
I gave you
Might
everything.
not bode
And
well
yet
for
it's
the
never
future
enough.
when
Cesare! He intends to poison you!
see a situation where Danny gets turned on first, or like one of the first. And that's not a really good place
You would not
to
listen
be
to
in
reason.
this big alliance. So,
Father, do
I'm
you
gonna
not
stick
see?
with my 6.
I
Yeah, I feel the
control
same way.
all
I
of
love
this.
this.
Now,
If I
If
this is
I
one of my
want
favorite
to
lines.
live,
feel like
I don't
it's
know
a
why,
six.
but
Tyler has her
I
number.
want to
He's helped book
take,
Christmas on her.
I take.
Bailey and Davon are both watching her closely.
If
Kaiser
I
just
want
brought her
you
up
to
Christmas.
die, you
there's just a lot of
die.
things that could theoretically put her in the firing line as early
Where
as potentially
is the
next week,
piece
though I
of
think that's
Eden?
unlikely.
Stop! I know
but
where it is.
She's on a timer.
And you did not tell me he
It's
had
her
taken
versus
it.
Tyler, and one of them's gonna shoot first. And from what I'm
It's
seeing,
me,
Tyler
your queen.
has both the
You are my
motivation
sister,
and the means
nothing
to
more.
shoot first.
Where is it?
She's talking about Tyler.
You never
Later.
loved me?
actually, to be honest, the animation there is actually pretty good on the Krutsia. I never actually
She's
noticed
talking
that.
about Tyler to people that
Just
are
the
like,
amount of
sure.
emotion that they're able to
Tyler's
show
talking
there.
to Danny about people like, oh yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna give the edge to Tyler on this potential war, and it's her long-term
coming
game.
through that
It
window.
feels like a coin
I
flip,
want
and
the
Tyler just
apple!
has the edge on her for it, and so because of that, it is a 6 from me. The audience also went with a 6. Brent,
Let's make
Am
it
I
unanimous
hurting
now.
there it is.
Give me the apple. It's mine, not yours.
I
want the apple.
See what happens
Decision,
if
little
Danny
sister.
realizes that she's been played first, because it's been smooth sailing thus far.
Shark's pretty nice, actually.
Danny Briones.
Yeah.
Requiescat in
Not a lot of
pace.
movement so far on the Zog, which is not surprising because Tyler
I
HOH
know.
really helped keep the
I know where that
the status
bastard
quo
is going.
as we talked about in the first
San Pietro.
portion of the podcast.
The pavilion
And so
in
a lot of people are
Corte.
in similar positions
Thank
to where they were before. Let's talk about, speaking of, Davon. Last week I gave Davon a 4. This week I feel the same. I think that she's in a worse position than she was last week because the clock is ticking. But I also feel like she has a couple more outs this week
Assassino!
that she didn't have last week. And that is
Tyler.
specifically Tyler.
I will come for
So,
you.
that there's something there. Her relationship with Kevin is like not very helpful to her in any way, and it's been clocked, so like that's not good. She's a likely target for next week. She spent a lot of this week just she calls it observing,
Ah, fuck.
which means that she's
Oh,
not
worked out.
speaking, and that's
Her
that was
getting
not
into
great.
trouble.
Yeah. So a lot of negatives, but she's also the kind of player where if she survives, I feel like she can bounce back, and she just has that like respect factor, and that even though people might not trust her right now, they do respect her, and they might be able to be back on board if things shift. So I don't think she's like debatable, but it is a 4. It is barely a 4 for me, but I did go with a 4 ultimately. Brent, how do you feel?
I mean, I'm going to do something a little controversial, and I'm going to award Devon a 2. I gave her a 3 last week, and she, believe it or not, has played worse. I didn't think it was impossible for her to play worse than she played last week, but she's got herself in a position where she literally is one of 2 possible people that I think is most likely to go home next week. It's either her or Casey. I really do think there's a chance that Devon is the 4th person to pick the All-Star. It's just unbelievable to me. But there is a non-zero chance.
Yeah, Devon just played this season so poorly. She came into that house in such a great position, and she just ruined it.
Chance of it happening, I'd say, like, 20% chance for Pacer to go home, 20% for Devon to go home, and maybe, other percentages for other people all spread out. She,
I think it's more than 20.
she's incapable of watching her mouth. She talks too damn much, and as somebody who talks too damn much himself, I understand her plight. But still, you have to be aware of, who you are and know that those are your weaknesses. And also,
Alright, let's do it.
just like me, she kind of wears her heart on her sleeve, and if she's irritated with you, you're kind of going to know about it. And if she doesn't trust you, you're kind of going to know about it.
How that works?
And a lot of people understand her on Twitter, as do I, because she keeps it real. But the game point of view, to be able to kiss ass just a little bit more. She's not capable of doing that. So yeah, I'm going to give her 2. Same score as David. I'm sorry, not same score as David. Same one point higher than David, because her position is ghastly. Okay, yes, Kara talks about the fact that Tyler may be the lifesaver.
I've been really happy about that.
Tyler can't play for HOH next week, and depending on who wins, there's a lot of people in this house that really don't want to
Attention
give
now,
him.
assassino.
He's not even somebody
My
to worry
sword
about.
will take
And
your life.
They go after either Bailey or Devon. I think fall against Devon. I know Nicole is pushing for Dave. I think everyone else
I would give Day, I'd give Day a 3, so I'm gonna be in between you guys. I agree with what both you guys were saying. I think that there's
I don't know if they did. Did they give Devon 3 or 4?
Find her way out of being targeted next week, but at the same time, it does feel like her name is being said a lot, and if you want to choose like a safe option rather than turning it inward and maybe like Tyler targeting Danny or something like that, like if they want to choose someone who's kind of on the outs, stays on the outs, then it's easy to make.
I forgot, how's the apple in this game work?
She tried to
Okay, I do.
be against you, or like she is, not trustworthy.
It's not the
or whatever they
AC3
say,
one.
whatever
AC3
they make
just
up.
kills everybody.
So it's just,
This one, it only
does
kills
feel
everyone
like
within the second sphere,
there is a
right?
situation
And like
where
the
she
ones
goes,
in the first sphere
and I really
to
don't
make
know
them
how,
turn against each other.
honestly, and it does seem like she, I mean, we've been saying this from the beginning that
Ah, shit.
threes aren't really on, and it's like,
And to be fair to her, a lot of people's screens aren't good.
oh no, I mean, it's not just her, it's like literally everybody.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, I see somebody in the chat, Pookie TV, coming for me. They got timed out by one of the moderators. Well, bitch, you can come for me and I'll keep it real with you about Devon. The question is, well, some of you are saying that Devon is too quiet, and some of you are saying that Devon talks too much. Which is it? Well, there's this thing called subtlety within the Big Brother game, and it's about when she's quiet and when she talks. That's the problem. When she's in a group of people and they're all supposed to be trusting each other and talking to each other, and she sits over there in the corner with, like, she's sucking a lemon and doesn't trust any of them, it's not cute. And then when she's, like, going behind people's backs and insists on spreading falsehoods just to see if she can trust somebody, that's talking too much. So yes,
We must
can
not
be
allow him
both,
to assemble his
because
remaining
that's the
supporters.
Big Brother game.
Becoming
Yeah,
Worry about it.
if you're in a room
your
and you're
aid, I will hunt
supposedly
him
with an
down.
alliance there, you don't have to
My
like
men will
give away
patrol the city,
information, but you
but
could
we
just
might
like
be denied.
say certain
We have
catchphrases
They
that
never
don't
said.
really
Why
mean
was there an
anything. Like, a
echo?
lot of
Why is there an
people
echo
just,
in this section?
Just like nod your head or like talk a little bit, but don't like you don't have to be the one spouting information, but you have to make it seem like you're receptive and that like you agree with what the people are in your alliance are saying, and then otherwise it just seems like, okay, seems like she's collecting information to go run to somebody else because she doesn't feel fully like she can like talk to us. So I would be suspicious of that as well.
Well, I feel like weirdly here,
They are everywhere and nowhere at once.
For some reason, the audience has given.
We cannot on our own, Signore. You must help us.
I am ill, you idiot! Like again, I said this at the beginning of the
Nicolettus will be here with my armies, and then you will see how quickly the assassini fall.
Like I would be ecstatic.
You delude yourself, Cesare.
God! In a world right now where Devon is like, well, we gotta put up peace.
What sorcery is this?
No, you don't! No, you don't! You don't have to do that!
You don't have to do anything.
Terrible play!
That's
Wait,
the
what?
thing is, like,
That's not
that's
good.
also, I feel, the difference between,
No,
I know
don't do
this
it.
is played out, but that's the difference between, like, old school and new school Big Brother. It's like, you don't have to do anything. Like, you can put up people who are going against you. You don't have to put up people who would work with you just because the rest of the house wants it. Like, don't do what the HOH wants. Don't do what the rest of the house wants. Like, you can play your own game.
Alright, well, let's talk about Cody. Cody is up next here. Cody, from the audience, got a 7 this week. Last week he also got 7. Maintained that 7. Now last week I gave Cody a 6. I was not overly impressed with how he handled the chaos of the week. I also felt like he was in some danger in the event that somebody like Janelle won the HOH, and she came real close. So I feel somewhat justified in that. However, Janelle did not win the HOH.
Yeah, I was finishing
I would win
Final
the
Fantasy 7 a
HOH.
week
Janelle will be
weeks
going
ago.
home, and with that,
Wasn't I?
Cesare
Cody
plans to meet
has
with Templar loyalists in the
solidified
countryside.
the vice grip
The Cardinal departs
on
for the
the
meeting
throat
tonight.
of this game. I think that he is the front runner right now. He is the best positioned in the house. He is not touching the block next week. He is the person where if everything continues to run the way it's supposed to run, he will win this game because he's got Nicole, he's got Danny, he's got Enzo. He even has Tyler to a degree, because even Tyler has to contend with Danny before he can even think about Cody. And that is huge for Cody. So for me, Cody is at an 8 overall, and that's where I have it.
And that's that on that. Yeah, I also gave him an 8. I feel fantastic about Cody. I think Melissa does as well. Like he's just somebody who like I think that his one weakness is to me like when Franzel came up and was like, you know, your name, and then instantly he like switches his mind to be like, well, I'll just put her
he
up.
is a
Like,
really
he's
emotional
got
player.
a little loose trigger. He can be manipulated a little bit. I feel like, but other than that, that's like nitpicky stuff. Like I feel like he's playing excellent. Everybody likes him. Everybody respects him. Nobody's gonna put him up on the block. And any chance that he had of going home, I think is gone. Like it's an 8 for me, and I feel like that's the highest score I'm giving this week. Spoiler alert. Like that's just fantastic. Like he's not exactly. I didn't want to see Cody back this season. I don't know if many people did. He's a pretty face, but he doesn't give me a lot in terms of the drama and the strategy and the backstabbing that I'm looking for, Big Brother.
I don't mind Cody back. I do think he has a good arc.
Arrogant, but I cannot deny the fact that he's got a really hard grip.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, like what you were saying
Join
about the
me and I will
trigger
take back
finger,
Roma.
whatever you
We have
said,
decided to elect
that
Della
was
Rovere to the
promises
papers.
in Big Brother 16.
We are
was
so.
like anytime
I
someone
pay
heard
for
something
your
that someone
point.
said about
Roma
him or
is
about
not the same as it was
wanted to go
once.
confront them. Like,
Or
listen, I'm
Jamani
gonna go,
has
like, I'm
become
gonna go
king.
confront them right now, and then Daryl
You will
goes,
regret
"Oh,
this
like,
decision.
no, you're
Assassino!
not. Just wait,
Run!
like,
Hired men
yeah,
promise you their blood, but as soon as you need help, they turn against you.
Oh my God, he's gonna confront them, and then it was like, oh no, he's not. And so I think that like in this situation, he doesn't have Derek there, so it's possible that down the line that might be an issue for him. But right now, he's fine and he's in a good position and he's like seemingly totally insulated. So yeah, I agree, and I think he's an 8.
I think Tammy Ross sums it up for us where she says that Cody keeps it at a small house farm.
I have seen him self-censor too. Like he will say things like, "All right, I'm putting Bailey up on
5 last week, and I think that was mainly because she won the competition, and I felt like she didn't need to do that, and she put herself in the weird position with Memphis because it was like she saved his target, and it was like a whole thing that was not intentional and not needed. But I do feel like she's in a pretty good position now. I feel like people want to work with her. She's making additional final twos. She's got this thing with Tyler, with Nicole. Like I do think she's in a good position. However,
My men tell me Cesare rallies his best soldiers in front of the main gate into Roma.
Pulling into
Gather
the
the assassins.
front-runner position.
We'll face
she
him
always
together.
just seems like the kind of person who's like willing to just take a back seat to other people and just be a number. And that concerns me.
Yeah, I
in the
did
long
say
game,
that.
but I
I
feel
did
like right
see
now,
that.
she's
Oh
playing
no,
fine,
Tony's
and
gone
so
from Twitter
I'm
again.
going to give her a 6.
Yeah, that's my problem, Melissa, is that I feel like, you know, there are shepherds and there are sheep
Wait,
in
wait,
this game, and I feel like she's a sheep, and I feel like she's almost content
Yeah, so,
she's being used by other people.
what was I gonna say? I don't remember what I was gonna say anymore.
She might come along for the ride, she might not, but she's not really the one with the control. She's not really the one with the agency in the decisions.
All of Italia shall be united, and you will rule beside me.
She is playing a really solid game.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be kind of disappointing though with Yakuza when playing the Yakuza
Soon
games that I'm
Micheletto
also
and his army will
recording now.
arrive, but you shall be dead before then.
Insieme per la vittoria!
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, tomorrow my Amazing Race winner.
From a 7 last week.
I want the
Prince,
assassin
how do you feel?
Yeah, I gave her 6 last week, and I'm also going to drop her down a bit. I think that she's playing a...
Throw down your arms, Cesare Borgia.
Micheletto's troops mass behind me. We will take back my city once and for all.
This is not your city anymore. By order of Pope Julius II, I arrest you, Cesare Borgia, for the crimes of murder, betrayal, and incest.
No! 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 This is not how it ends! Chains will not hold me! I will not die by the hands of
I know
man!
what she's gonna do. She's gonna go with Tyler, and that may be like it's not really what I want, but it may be the best course of action for her. But there are ways for her to also be eliminated next week. If somehow Devon ends up on the block,
manner in which he said it.
Devon wins a veto, and they want to split
James
up
will not
Devon
hold.
and Bailey.
If you are so
I
worried,
can see a way where Bailey
there is a
would
way
end
to
up
find
being
out.
evicted during the 4th week of Big Brother,
No,
which would
it is
not
too
be fun,
powerful.
'cause she's been
It
playing
must
a
be
fighting
hidden
game
outside the
until this
domain of
point.
men.
She's been
What a
trying.
shame.
I mean, she's
I did a
trying. It's not like
masterpiece
she's doing
where no one
nothing.
will ever
It's
see
just
it.
the fact that a few of her reads are a little wrong,
What
and,
if he
and I
meant
am a
what
little
he
fancy
said?
pants or something. sorry about it. But I really feel like that
I cannot risk it.
there's good and bad stuff about her game. And as much as I want to give her credit for the good stuff, I feel like you have to call it the bad stuff. And her acknowledging that, you know, if they got HOH,
Cesare was right. I have to leave.
What about your friends?
I built this Brotherhood to last, with or without me.
What do you intend to do?
Plant a seed.
And also, like, she's sort of sticking her
a
neck
gift.
out for Janelle
If
this
this is
week
goodbye,
in terms of trying to
then
keep
keep your
her.
money. I
The
do not
votes
want
aren't
it.
there for
We
that,
will
and I
see
don't
each
know
other
what
again.
she's gonna do
You
over
have
the
my
next 2
word.
days.
Buona
I
fortuna,
feel like
my
a
oldest
bias.
About time we see Leonardo.
Yeah, I'm with you. I gave her a
Take
5.
the money.
I think I
Your
gave
meager
her a 6
salary.
last week.
You will need it.
I started the
patron has
season
been arrested.
giving her an 8. I felt so good about where she was and how she was playing. And it's not even like the thing I was worried about was like, will she get power and do something wrong with it, or you know, screw up her social game in some way. That hasn't really happened. It's more been a slow deterioration.
This Gamefly's having a sale.
I unfortunately have to say that it's in large part due to Devon that has deteriorated her position. If
I mean, it
she
looks like it
wasn't
started 5
attached
hours
to
ago, so
Devon,
probably
I
was down
think
some
that she
shit
would be in
already.
a much better position right now.
Let's see.
And it's
That's
very
fair.
unfortunate.
I'm
but,
assuming it's probably the same
it's
shit.
kind of where we're at.
But might as well check it.
Now, I
Death
think
Stranding,
that,
$17.
she's
Not
in some
terrible.
trouble this
Alright,
week.
alright.
She has
That's actually
Nicole
pretty good, actually.
coming for her.
Doom Eternal, $20.
And
That's pretty
Ian
good.
coming for her because
The problem
of
is I have no
Nicole,
interest in
and
it.
That's dangerous. She could end up on the block with Devon,
How
and
did you
you
find
would have Nicole and Ian trying
Yeah,
to
Neo
slow
2
her.
for
Mario Auditore,
$17.
now here.
Pretty
Even
good.
worse, I feel
Yeah,
like she could
don't
end up
really
on
much
the
interest in
block
that.
with
I mean, that's like a Nicole and Ian kind of move.
Kill him!
Yes, have talked
Kill
about
the
fact that they
assassin!
don't want
Tear the
conflicts with
maldito
Ian.
bastardo to
Ian is
pieces!
on the block. I think Ian has said he would do that. So, like, if they're looking for a way around that and they want to get Bailey out of the house, so Bailey keys her up on the block. And in that case, I feel like that he's enough that he's by himself. Let's take a shot at Bailey right now. So it really depends on who gets HOH in terms of who ends up with the short end of
Drink
the
to
stick.
Savage Planet,
If either of them
$10.
do this coming week.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. Now, again, there's some light at the end of this tunnel. I think the inroads she's made with Tyler are massive for her game, and if she does lose Devon, I think that she can rebound, and I think that she can reintegrate, and I think that Tyler becomes a bigger
guess we'll
target
start
to
it.
her,
Travel
and he
by
also
horse.
becomes a very good asset for her in the game.
By the way, Terrence, that mistake that Danny made about confirming to Bailey that Tyler would not betray her, that is the example of a player like Bailey benefiting from a mistake of somebody else. There's no way that is, if Danny is serious about coming for Tyler, that she should be telling Bailey that Tyler this trust and paranoia in Bailey. She should not be trying to make Bailey feel great and solid about Tyler, but that's exactly what she did. So, like, that's just a little bit of good luck for Bailey, so we'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Melissa, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I really like Bailey. I think she's playing a really fun game, and I think that,
Is she?
like, I love her friendship with Janelle and Kaser, and I, like, love what she's trying to do, and that I don't think she's trying to just, like, fit in with the large group. That's why I like what Brent said. It is
Ah, shit.
strange and unfortunate that her and Devon said that thing about Kaser. I mean, who knows if that's actually what they would do. Maybe that's just something they're like, maybe we have to do it, but we're not going to. Like, I don't know.
What's
But
that
it is
mean?
definitely concerning that they would say that. I don't want to give Bailey a low rating because, like, I love the game she's playing, but I worry about her. And that's why
I've
I'm
ever
gonna
done that
have
fully
to.
stealthy.
I'm gonna have to give her a 5, and that's like it hurts me to do that because like I'm really loving her game, but it's like it's the same with Janelle and Kaser. Like I'm worried.
Yeah, the only thing worth
I don't
getting is
see
Doom
necessarily,
Eternal
like an hit for them
for
besides
20.
this like little
And
Tyler thing or
that's
whatever.
something
Maybe
that's
like
like,
so many people are targeting
it's a
them.
good price,
I
but it's
also
not
just want to say
really
that like
random.
Ian's game is making me really sad. This
Either way,
doesn't
we're
have to do
done.
with Bailey, but I know you guys mentioned Ian about
Next episode,
how
we'll
Ian
wrap
is
up the
targeting
game.
Bailey because of
So,
Nicole.
thanks for
Like,
watching.